Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog. We're in the second level now, Marble Zone, which has my favourite music track in the game. And right from the start we can see that things are a lot more hazardous than Green Hill. For these caterpillars, you want to hit them precisely on the head because their entire spiky body is dangerous. We also had the pits spitting fireballs. And over here is a fun little section where if you spend too long on any of these platforms, they catch fire behind you. And now we're going underground. So this is the first appearance of the Crusher traps, which will kill you instantly, even if you have rings, even if you have a shield, even if you're invincible. And you may notice when I destroy these badniks, cute little woodland critters come out and jump straight onto the spikes. Don't worry, they're not harmed by them. But in the last episode, I don't think I really explained the story, which is basically that Dr. Robotnik is kidnapping the cute woodland critters to use as energy sources for the robots he's making in his bid to take over the world, so we've got to stop him. This bit's pretty easy, just take it at a relaxed pace and the blocks will fall ahead of you. The other one that looks like it's wanting to fall will actually just stay there, so no danger. And here there's a little bonus that leads to a life monitor and even enough rings for a second life. And in fact, if you miss that, there's no other way to get 100 rings in this act. So it really is like 2 lives in one. Here we are at the end of the act. Oops. So I'll just be a little bit careful. But we made it, so time for special stage number 3. There is a little trick to this one, which is that if you don't touch any keys at all at the start, you will get delivered straight to the emerald in the middle, which lets you get a start at working on those blocks. Unfortunately, you will get thrown away from the emerald quite quickly, but this special stage is one huge room, so it is really a matter of trying to work your way back to the emerald, which is not easy because no matter how it rotates, gravity is always against you. That noise was me getting a continue, which happens when you've collected 50 rings. You do also get an extra life from 100 rings in the special stage, but I'm not going to be going for those deliberately. It may well happen by accident on this one. It's so hard to get back to the middle. But that's decent progress on the blocks. Now just try to get back. Oh, there we are. No, I'm at a different side now. So it's lucky that the goals are all shielded, or this would be even more annoying. As it is, there's not actually that much danger of failing, it just takes a while to get the emerald, but we have it. So that's 3 out of 6. I think I've got fairly good chances of getting all 6 in this playthrough now. And Marble Zone Act 2. You do want to hurry at the beginning there, because otherwise the timing of that fire platform and the fireball might be a little less favourable. You don't want to be in the situation where you have to wait on the platform to avoid the fireball as it's catching fire. And go up here for a couple of bonuses. I would have liked to hit that, but as I didn't, I'll have to Rolling into these is a much safer way to deal with them. So avoid this lava thing. The fireballs are triggered by your proximity, not on a timer, so you can just run past them. The lava behind us is coming, but there's actually very few hazards in that corridor, so not really a problem to outrun it. And there's a fun little swinging platform section. After which, another couple of caterpillars, so again you want to roll and avoid the backwards spring. And this is a rather famous little bit. Push the block and ride it over the lava. You have to jump on it when it will go under the wall, that will push you off. There are 3 of these jumps. The third one we want to get onto a high ledge at the end. Except that when we come close, if you notice, there's a block underneath. And that's a clue about this little passage, which is another secret with a life and rings. And although we only have 56 at the moment, just like in Act 1, you can't get 100 rings in the act if you miss that. So if you're wondering how I find these secrets, there was a clue for that one, but the one in Act 1 there was no clue at all. You just had to try every wall until you got lucky. But one thing I do enjoy in the Sonic games is what's called ring attacking, which is where you try to get as many rings as you can in a stage. It often has a fun puzzle element to it, as well as the platforming. And there's a website, the Sonic Centre, where you can go to upload your best results for time attacks and ring attacks. And so seeing that I was missing a large number of rings in that stage, it did make me go back and look for secrets. Anyway, you can tell that we're not at the end of the act, because I haven't got 100 rings yet, and I said it would be possible. Be very careful in this bit. So I just went past it, but there's another secret there. Not exactly a secret, just a bonus room with some rings that we don't want to miss. And these breakable blocks here, oh, they've respawned, so that's cute. I didn't actually know that happened. Anyway, with these you want to get a combo like this, because the score you get for each block increases as you combo. It's 100, 200, 500, 1,000 for the next 10, and then 10,000. It's just a fun little thing to do, although score doesn't actually mean anything in this game. And the exact same score combo system applies to badniks as well. So here there's an invincibility that will let us run across the lava, which is good because we've spent quite enough time here already. You can even run through the spikes on these platforms with invincibility. And that's the end of Act 2. So the 4th special stage is a long corridor. At the start there are no turnings off or goals, but those will come later on. You've got to watch out for them, and it helps to know the layout in advance. Sorry, there's not much to say at this point. That's the first goal turning, so avoid that. And here it's helpfully marked by an arrow made of rings, even if I went so fast that you didn't get to see it, or didn't get to see it while it was still looking like an arrow. Here's another arrow. There, you can see it this time. And just like with Special Stage 2, once we're inside the Emerald Chamber, it's fairly straightforward. There are still goals to avoid, but not much danger. So, 4 out of 4. And there are only 6 emeralds, but there are 10 chances altogether to get them, so 6 remaining, and I only need 2 of them. I think I can do this. Moving on to Act 3. You want to be careful with rings in this act, because there are exactly 102 available. So if you lose your rings at any point past the beginning, you're not getting that life. This looks like one of those bonus chambers from the first 2 acts, but it's actually a route divergence. So if you want the life, come down here first for these rings, then go back onto the other path. We have to get past this very annoying caterpillar. The ceiling just beyond will get in the way if we jump over him, so wait for him to turn around and then roll. For these fireballs, the safe thing is to wait for the horizontal one, get in this safe spot, and the vertical one will actually stop then. Now, if I had taken the other route, you see the green cylinder on the right, I would have to move that down to progress, and it would block off the 10-ring box, so that's why it was necessary to deal with the 2 paths the way I did. And here where they meet up, we have another slow moving block across the lava section. This one's a bit more hazardous because you only get 1 chance at the jump at the end. If you fall back down, then you're stuck. But there is a little trick which I learned from my friend Mark Flopsy Shepherd on the Lemmings forums, which is that if you can jump up to the left and that block will come out and let you get across the gap. I'd always thought that you had to jump across to the right, which is a bit more difficult because you need to gain momentum by running across the width of the block you're on. Anyway, there was a little side chamber there with an extra life, and it's actually a shortcut through the stage. You can go out the other side of it and continue, but obviously I'm not doing that. So here's a cute little section where they've added some fireballs in the middle, which are actually completely harmless because you're going to jump over them anyway. And we finally get our first shield in this act. Be very careful of these crushers because you have to jump up to them, so you lose a bit of momentum and it's tighter to get through. And for this bit, start the moving block, then go up to the second one. Here you want to go into this room off to the side, not only for the rings, but also because being on top of this moving platform is the easiest way to make the jump onto the second one. So this is nasty, just got to wait for him to turn around again. And then I messed up. Never mind. So yet another of these moving blocks. This is the last one, thankfully. And under this spiked platform, that's where the shortcut from the extra life comes out. And we're finally at the end of the act. So after all that platforming, what do you think the boss is going to be like? So Dr. Robotnik's back. He's chosen a nicely thematic machine for this zone because it's dropping fireballs. Unfortunately, this one is even easier because all you have to do is switch sides to avoid them. You can get in 2 hits each time, so he goes down with no problems. And that's it for Marble Zone. Oh, that was a long one, but the next zone is going to be a bit more bouncy. See you next week for Spring Yard.